mute.
Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guests we go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve 'em. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you go feel the burn. The chat room. Now here we define the way. The chat room.
Oh yes.
We go talk and clear, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. The chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone, depending on what time it may be at your end. My name is LadyMary Boadu. I am your host for the chat room, a platform dedicated to resolving daily life issues. Over here, we do well to educate. Our conversations are informative, and pretty much everybody can relate to it. Tonight, I have my co-host, Nanaya Sarpong, here with us, and we have a very special guest joining us all the way from the United Kingdom. We appreciate you so much for taking the time, because I know it's late there now. So thank you for doing this with us tonight. We appreciate you. Before we go into it, we're going to allow our co-host to introduce herself, and then we'll give it to Mr. Jacob to also take over his introduction. Anna, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I am Nanaya Sarpong, a mother, a wife, and an entrepreneur. I am a financial manager by career, and I also run Obia Nana, an African print-inspired fashion line. You can follow me on shop.obianana on Facebook and IG and all platforms. Thank you. I'm excited about this month's conversation on education, all around education. And today should be very interesting. So thank you all for tuning in.
Mr. Jacob, please introduce yourself for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, LadyMary. I think, my introduction will be a bit long because, my name is Jacob Diameh, PMP, ACP, and FHEA. And all these acronyms, I will later explain it in details. I've been a lecturer in the United Kingdom at University of Lincoln for almost 3 years. And throughout my lecture period, I've taught different programs. I've taught international business, accounting and finance. I've also taught, project management. So I've I've looked at, like managing different aspects of students, supervise different research programs, and currently I am a project manager on Project Forward, which is a robotic project that I'm working on at Northern Ireland, and I'm working at Queen's University at the moment. So as time goes on, I will get to explain more about myself. So yeah, you can be able to, put some question down for me. Thank you, LadyMary.
Thank you so much. I always say that if you need information, you need to contact Jacob because he has he has all the information. And no, and that's one thing I really love about you. He has access to information. And Bible says that lack of knowledge when people perish. I also believe that lack of resources, if we're not careful, we can be left behind. We can perish in that aspect of life. So tonight we're looking at using AI in the classrooms. For those of us that are students, those of us in high school, now about to go to college. I mean, I'm sure that kids that are even in elementary school now know about AI, and it functions to a certain limit. And so tonight we want to talk about the using AI in the classroom, the benefits, the advantages, the disadvantages, things we should look out for as students, and maybe parents, because I'm sure that kids can use AI in ways that some parents that are not well advanced may not know. They could do certain things with it, and we may not have any idea or knowledge. And so tonight, he's here to do just that. So we've given the platform, Mr. Jacob. Handle it how you want it, however whichever dimension you want to take it is okay. As questions come, we would ask you our questions, and then as they come on the screens and then on WhatsApp, we would do well to read them to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to your platform once again.
Oh, and I've sent out the links, so if you can share the links now.
All right. Yeah. So thank you so much for inviting me to this program. It's great opportunity to connect with your audience, and to also get to explain and go in depth into AI, because it's something that I have taught it before when I was a lecturer, and I've utilized the power of AI. And at the same time, when I was a supervisor on research also, I've seen my students using AI. So we need to we use AI to detect AI. So it's in that environment. So it's very, very interesting to see, to get to a point we use AI and be able to know the people who are also misusing the AI. And if you look at what I'm doing at the moment as a project manager on robotics project, so part of what we are doing is bringing out new innovations for future use, and we are doing advanced research on those innovations. So I moved from AI as in software to now the robotics, which is the machine itself. So I have a combination of both angles, and that is what today I'm happy to explain to your audience. What AI is all about. So first of all, I'll go into what AI in the classroom means. So AI in the classroom refers to how data and algorithm you use to support our teaching and learning, from automated grading to personalized tutoring to content generation tools like ChatGPT, which everybody is aware of ChatGPT. That is the only small aspect of AI that people know.
Yeah.
So before I go into all the tools that we have and utilize in our teaching environment, I'll go to the history of AI. So now that is something that people don't really know. Okay, if we say AI, what is the history behind AI? So artificial intelligence, which is AI, formally began in 1956. So in 1956, in Darton Conference, this is where we have all the computer scientists coming together during the Darton Conference. And one thing that Alan Turing proposed was, can machine talk? So that was the proposed question that brought about artificial intelligence. So it went on, and you could see that now people have started moving from machine learning to generative AI to now looking at all the framework and the models that we have regarding AI, right? So AI is basically something that It's just like the history of calculator. You know, when calculator came the first time, humanity said this is a cheat because people will use it to take advantage
Yeah.
of so many things. And today, look at us. We are still using calculator. It is not destructive. It is rather helping us. So now the question is, how do we leverage the advantage that AI will bring to us? So that is one aspect that I'll be receiving some questions, and I can be able to go deeper into leveraging AI in the classroom. Then we'll also go into the tools that are required for you to be responsible, because AI using AI non-ethically can also cause a lot of damage. Even this week alone, there have been so many instances of AI from ChatGPT to Anthropic, where even the U.S. Defense Ministry, they are utilizing AI. So the question is, if everybody is utilizing AI, how do we make it more responsible? How do we utilize it more responsibly in the classroom? So how do we start to take advantage of its productivity, take advantage of its enhancement, to rather to learn more about it, to embrace AI as a tool that can be supportive in our classrooms? So that is, So as Lady Mary asked me questions, I can be able to dive into the utilization of AI. Thank you, Lady Mary.
Okay. Okay. So I have a question.
No, go ahead.
So, in talking, as you're talking, I'm thinking of different things that, of course, we can, both teachers and students can use AI to benefit the learning process, right? But of course, with everything comes the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So let's start from right now. What is the actual benefit? If you're looking at the fact that, students are using this thing to get away from their own thought process, right? Instead of them thinking about a problem and coming up with a solution, or actually doing research to come up with a solution, you can just tell ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or whatever, the rest, to just do it for you. So what can we say is really the benefit, the actual benefit of using students using AI?
I think, students using AI, first of all, AI is not replacing, students' way of doing any practice. Like I said, when you look at the history of calculator, back then they wanted everybody to do, logical thinking and logical reasoning to calculate, mathematical equations. But calculator is doing that. So the question is, does it take away the reasoning from students? No, it's rather enhancing their capability to be able to do advanced calculation. So, we always see a lot of students now using AI to do their assessment, using AI to
To do
be able
homework.
to,
They're using it to do homework.
yes, to do homework, and it is there. But that is why, when you come to the classroom, in my time, I pick myself as example, we started shifting from just providing an essay to more kind of a reflective assessment. So reflective assessment means that you will give you a task, an activity, then you reflect on that. And of course, AI will not be in that classroom during the activity, so it will be difficult for you to reflect. So, it was easier for me as a marker. I was able to detect the students who were not in the classroom, and this were master students. Some were undergraduate students. So, the whole thing is, how do we now structure our assessment to make it more critical reasoning, to bring that criticality, and we can point it towards reflective, writing. So in this case, either you bring the student to the classroom to say, prepare a presentation, and based on that, you can be able to deduct, the answers from, or you can give them an activity. So it could be activity based, and that is where, now the world is going towards. The world is moving away from just provide an essay, just go in the house, provide, to rather tell me what you learned from this activity. So that is how we can be able to be responsible, to be able to move away from students just using AI, misusing AI, to using it to help them to reason.
But is it really helping? I guess that's the part that when it comes to student, I mean, I'm here for AI, okay, because
Yeah.
it's helpful when it comes to what I do. It makes my life a little bit easier, okay.
Yeah.
But even moving, just I'm seeing from maybe elementary school all the way up to people who are getting like doctorate degrees, because I think I saw it somewhere where maybe it was a meme or something where somebody said, imagine ChatGPT doing the work for your doctor to pass his to pass basically medical school. And then he's
Yeah.
put in real world to come and help you diagnose you about something. And that whole process, he's still putting it in the computer, right? For ChatGPT to, or for whatever AI to do the work for them, right? So don't you think that even though it's making life easier, it's making the processes easier, it's still taking away that cognitive reasoning, because it's easy to just say, do it for me, than me doing it.
Yeah, I think this comes down to how the whole world is shifting, because there is a saying that as tools change, we need to also adapt, right? And I think the world is not adapting quickly as quickly as AI is progressing.
Mhm.
So we as as educators, we need to start shifting, adapting our way of managing AI in the fast pace. Because AI just moved boom, like there it was an instant boom. And it's, if we are not able to adapt quickly, then it means we are slow to change. And in this life, you need to reprogram yourself to embrace change as it occurs. So that is one aspect, because see, students will use AI. Okay, there is no way you can stop students from using AI, right? It will be difficult,
Yeah.
but there are methods where we can be able to cap this situation. Okay, for us to create a responsible, like a life, because now there are now policies coming up. Okay, you could ask yourself, why is taking us so long to bring up policies? Okay, when now if you use AI in anything, okay, you need to indicate, you need to like the way you
Reference
make
it.
reference, you need to reference it that
Mhm.
you've used AI. It's not only students. Recently in Australia, there was a big situation where an auditing firm, okay, provided a report to the government of Australia, right? So you could ask yourself, so if we are only focusing on classroom, then what of this auditing firm that they have charged $100,000, okay, hundred
And
thousand
AI is
dollars
doing the work.
just to use AI to just do the work and just present the work. But you see, they were able to detect it. So and when they detected it, they charged them, okay, for that misconduct. So the same way, so now this campaign auditing firm will not go back again to use AI, right? So it boils down to what are the control measures? What is the consequences of somebody taking that action? In my university, as a former lecturer, if you use AI to do your work, you will be called. We will investigate, and when they investigate, they will penalize you. So it's kind of like, let's look at the the policies, the ethical considerations around using AI. So you cannot stop your student from using AI, but we can find measures to be able to cap that situation.
Yeah. I just wanted to comment too. I think that's a very good and important aspect for all of us to know and to understand that there are policies around using AI. And so if you happen to find yourself in a place where you're using it for whatever reason, whether for school, for work, like you mentioned, for a contract, you need to be very mindful,
Yeah,
because
you have
then
to
you
cite
can't.
it.
Yes, you are not exempted from anything that you can be penalized for. And if when you're penalized, we all know, I mean, be aware of the consequences. I think that this is not to scare us, but at least that's why it's informative, or it's educational purposes, so that right here, all of us, at least myself and Nana, now we know that there are policies around this, and people that are listening today,
Definitely.
right? So then we will be cautious when we do things. But I just wanted to add that to Jacob. So you can take it. Do you want us to read comment?
Yes, yeah, yeah. I think
Okay.
I'm happy to
And then you
pick
want to
one.
take
Yeah.
it, or I should go ahead? Here, can you? I projected them.
Go ahead. Okay, so the first comment, D. Curtis, hey Darlington, he says, I believe part of the benefit for students is having a broader database, especially doing research, which is true. Because I remember, back in um, college, university time, where you literally have to like go from database to database to database to database just to do one research paper, right? But in the current AI environment, all you need to do is type it in, But even though, one thing I know is, even though AI can give you the information, it's still your responsibility to go through it to make sure that what it's giving you is accurate, and that it pertains to what you're researching. Because at the end of the day, even AI tells you that I am an artificial intelligent and I can
Mm-hmm.
make errors. So
Errors,
you
exactly.
need to make sure that what I'm giving you is indeed pertaining to
Pertaining to.
what you need,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, I think that it's making life easier, but also that's the environment we're in, and we all need to catch up, because there'll be a time where if you don't know how to operate AI, then you'll be lacking, especially in your jobs. I've seen and read where people are saying, like right now is the time for everybody to learn how to operate it, because AI is still a machine, and it's going to take time.
We're gonna
And
get there.
it's going to take
Yeah.
time. So don't.
No, you're going in and out. But no, but I was gonna ask a question. Um, y- Now you hear people sometimes say that, not to go off topic, AI is here to take people's jobs. Have you heard that? A lot of people, I've heard people say AI is here to take people's jobs. What is your take on that? And then we will go back to the classroom aspect. Okay, she's back.
I think one of the critical aspects, if we are focusing on like asking jobs of teachers, okay, so my response will be AI is not going to replace teachers, because we need emotional intelligence, and this is from the human aspect. We need that human aspect to our education. But the only challenge is the teachers who will not embrace AI will be at risk of their jobs. So if you just want to go the traditional way, because most of our educational assessment models are outdated, and like we need to and I support what Nana is also saying, talking about like, yeah, like how AI, things are shifting quickly, right? So we need to understand that people sometimes, like if you are going to your work, if somebody is able to use AI to do the work faster, okay, you end up, okay, your productivity will be low. So the time that you spend on doing different things, like doing different aspects of work, you focus on and be doing critical thinking. Sometimes, like, yeah, you can use AI to just do mathematical analysis, use the AI to do data analysis, to even do your whole research, because there are so many tools out
Yeah.
there. And for me, because I was in the educational setting, see, if you're a student and you think the lecturers don't know, or the teachers don't know, They know the tools that you are using, they also use, they know what is there. But that is why, even in my former universities are now introducing what we call Turnitin. So Turnitin has an element of AI which can detect AI usage. So you see, if you're a lecturer, you need to also start to embrace it and say, all right, so if I'm marking assessment, how am I going to use Turnitin to summarize? So all these things is in the landscape of AI. So you just have to embrace it. If not, you'll be at risk of losing your job.
Yeah, you be behind. You be
Can we?
Yes.
behind. I've seen people retiring because they feel like now everything is computerized. Like what they used to fill forms with, like papers, and everything is on the computer.
Yeah.
And their generation was before the computer. And we're not even talking about AI,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you don't keep up with the time, you're going to be left behind, right? Because
Yeah.
we will get to a point where nobody's going to really wait for you to kind of go through things manually. You will
Right.
have to find a way to automate it.
Automated.
So, yeah,
Sure.
that's the times we're in.
It's interesting. You said teachers or professors uses AI to detect AI. Can we go a bit into that? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be all of your details, but at least just so for some of us, that are taking advantage of it.
Yeah. I think
They can
it's
now.
so
The
so
students.
so yeah. I think sometimes students are naive. They think if I use AI, nobody will get to know. So let me quickly use AI and submit my work. And so as lecturers, we have a lot of AI integration into our system. So we have Turnitin, which can detect plagiarism, and at the same time also now Turnitin have a plugin which now a lot of universities are using, and that has to detect AI use. So I remember during the time that I used to mark, I can be able to scan a portion of your work directly picked from AI, and it can detect which AI that was used. So you see, we have those things integrated into the system. So what happened is, if we detect and we pick those information, what I normally do is you fill a report form. Okay, you fill the form and you pick the student details. So they don't know, they have no idea. Then you now hand it over to the investigative team. So the academic offense investigative team will now contact you, the student, and they'll ask you, did you use AI? Because they will not show you the report. They will just ask you, did you use AI? So you are forced to confess. So that is where sometimes they will catch you and say, all right, so yeah, you were able to use AI, but see, that element is there. Now, Microsoft Copilot, a lot of universities have access to it. So we use Copilot also to do our own summary, sometimes like preparing our lecture note, preparing. So the only way we cannot, okay, the only way it is difficult for us to detect whether a student have used AI or not is when we present a reflective writing. Because in that case, students come and they talk about their experience. So we always advise students, you can use AI, okay? You can use AI to understand. For instance, if a question is given to you and you don't understand the question, you can use AI to let AI to help you to explain to you what is the so that you don't go deviate from the right answer that you are supposed to provide. But don't use AI to copy and paste into your work, right? So that is what we call the ethical and responsible AI usage, right? If not, you do it, you think you are done. If you are not lucky and it comes to someone like me, I will use the Turnitin, it detect it, I just fill my report. So, you just have to embrace it to understand that something like that is there, okay? And, there are so many other softwares that has been provided. And I know that as a student, I also embrace AI. So the earlier you understand it, the better, so that at least you can be able to navigate the do's and the don'ts of AI usage.
So it's kind of the same. It's kind of like, everything is really, it's a recycled in a different
Yeah.
form. Because I remember back in college where you do a research paper and maybe you find a source, right? And if you go and you write exactly what the source is saying and pass it on as
Yeah.
your own,
Mhm.
right? Then you'll be caught. That's
You'll be
plagiarism.
penalized
That's
for
not
it.
the
Yeah.
word, right?
Yes.
But you have to use wisdom and say, okay, this is what the source is saying. Let me put it in my own words
My own
and
words. Yeah.
explain, right? So it's not directly just copying and pasting, So that's kind of like, if that's what my understanding is from what you're saying. Just use it as a reference, but put it in your own way
Own
instead of
words
just copying and pasting.
from.
'Cause
Yep.
I've seen, I have a friend who's a professor, and I've seen some research papers where I'm not a professor, but you read it and it's like, come on, those are not your words. That came straight from Claude or Chat GPT or somebody. Those are not your words. So it's in everything, use wisdom. Use wisdom. And then if you got it from a research and say, okay, I'm using Chat GPT as a reference, then just cite it as that's what I use, and this is what I learned, and this is what I figured it was saying, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I'm
and,
assuming. That's
and
what you're saying.
yes, yeah, and Nanaya, just also to add, right? So you see, I remember that when I was a lecturer, we always have training after training, so we know how the format of an AI. So I because I keep seeing it, I can just see an assessment
Text.
and just know
Yeah.
that no, this is not the student's work,
Yeah.
right? Because it's becoming a way of life for lecturers also to easily detect. But in the situation where it is a dissertation where you need to submit like 20 pages, 30 pages of work, you see, you cannot detect it with your naked eye. You cannot just say, oh, I know the format. So that is where the Tenetin comes in. So Tenetin also helps us to detect. So sometimes, like if it is an easy work, okay, you can be able to detect. So, there is, lecturers are moving at a fast pace, okay, and it's different from university to university, because some schools may have different way of doing it. But I would say for my university, I know that we've always have sessions, co-pilot. How can you detect an AI work? So you can see, and also how do we change assessment type so that it will a student will avoid using AI. Okay, so and sometimes also we also refer in our model material. When you are designing a model, the first thing you come into my lecture, sometimes I have classroom where I have like 400 students, 450 students, and this is huge classroom. So the first thing my students come, I tell them is, if you use AI, we will catch you. So so sometimes we'll be frank with them that, see, you can use AI, okay, responsibly. Use it to learn. Use it to understand, a context, or a background to a subject, or use it to understand, maybe where your environment, what you want to do. But don't just go there, copy and paste into your work, because if you do that, it's academic offense.
Yeah.
Question that says, can you please list some AI tools you use and what they're for?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think, so when you come to Chat GPT, I think everybody knows, and
That is
this
a
is for
go-to.
brainstorming. Yeah, and what is used for is for brainstorming, for essay outline, explanation, analysis, and now it's even moving to graphic generation. So you also have Grammarly. For me personally, I use Grammarly a lot. So
Me
this is for
too.
writing feedback. It gives you clarity improvement. Maybe sometimes you don't have English is not your first language, or you have issues with articulating your word. you can use Grammarly to just, prepare, summarize your works and make it more professional. So you can
Yeah.
either change it to formal, informal, and the rest. Now, there's another tool which we call Quillbot. So Quillbot is used for paraphrasing and summarizing. Okay, so those who will be using, like for instance, if you are doing a project, okay, and you copy somebody's work, you can just put it to Cobot. So Cobot can be able to use to paraphrase it and change it to a different. Then we also have the Khan Academy, which a lot of people know, the Camingo. So Camingo is an AI tutor for guided learning. So you can use Camingo for guided learning. Now Duolingo, most of you also will know. So we have Duolingo is adaptive language learning, and we also have Century Tech, which adjust lessons based on student performance. So Century Tech adjusts, student learning based on performance. We also have GradeScope. So GradeScope is an AI-assisted grading platform too. So people use it to help you to grade, scores. We also have Tennyson. I've mentioned Tennyson. So we have the AI detection, the feedback too. So you can have the feedback element, the AI detection, and we also have paraphrasing detection. So it be able to pick those who have copy and plagiarism, copy and pasted some of the information. We also have Magic School. So Magic School AI is a lesson plan. So those of you who will be planning your lesson, you can use the Magic School AI. So it helps you to plan your lessons, and it also helps you with rubrics. So the rubric is, how you want to grade your students. Now we also have the Canva AI, and a lot of people who use it for presentation, for classroom material. You can use Canva AI for those things. We also have Notebook LM. So Notebook LM is very useful too. I think, if you've never used it or heard of it, please do. Just Google Notebook LM. So it can help you. So you just give it maybe like, a summary. It helps you to create a story, like an audio video story around it. So it presents a nice presentation. For instance, maybe you are a lecturer and you want to talk about maybe AI and you don't have anything about AI. Just go to Notebook LM and say, can you give me a history about AI? It can create a whole history and point it towards your audience. Okay. Now we have so many tools. We have Copilot, and Copilot. Some of you already know Copilot. So the Copilot can be used to help you to summarize lessons, to look into integration, to understand. Like it's just like ChatGPT, and you have Gamma. You have Gamma also used for presentation. You have Microsoft Immersive Reader, which can help you to read. We have Perplexity. So for those of you who want to use design your website, you don't want to take it to anyone, please go to Perplexity. Just go to Perplexity, sign up. It's free. You can just use the free option to just create a simple website. You can also go to Lovable. There is a platform called Lovable. It's also good for creating websites. So there are so many, like, I think, I cannot be able to exhaust all of them today.
I use
But there
Gemini
are
to
so
create
many.
videos.
Gemini is also there.
Videos.
Yes, image creation. You can use Gemini Canva.
But sometimes you have to
and
pay. That's the point. You have to pay. You have to pay for the premium.
yeah. And for those who want to go into programming, like you want to start learning how to do what we call vibe coding, you can use Kesa. You can use you can use Kesa
And Claude can code.
and Claude AI also. You can use Claude to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot of great information. I'm glad that you came.
Thank
If you
you.
didn't, if you decide that you didn't get anything out of this conversation, I hope you do remember that there are policies, regulations, and rules surrounding all these tools that that we have access to now. Is there any other topic that you want us to touch on, Mr. Jacob?
I do have a
Yeah.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So, as we are talking about adapting, um, you know, so for someone that's really behind, right? Because even though I feel like AI is still in the early stages, so it's not too late to get into it. But for someone who is just hearing you today and they are wondering, where do I start? Can you give them some information on where to start and how to start?
I think now when you look at where the world is going, so I'll just touch on reskilling and upskilling. So you can upskill whatever field that you are. So if you're a teacher, just upskill to understand some basic using vibe coding, or using like notebook LM to do some few things. So just start playing around some of those tools, because there are often questions that, oh, I'm too late to start to learn. Okay, it's never too late. Okay, it's never too late to learn. You see, because in this life, they always say that the people who refuse to learn are the people who become obsolete,
Hmm.
right? It is never too late to learn. So, for instance, the easiest way to do is maybe, subscribe to ChatGPT or just use the free version. So you can pick like 5 tools. You can pick Notebook LM, Chat GPT. You can pick Gemini. You can then add maybe like Kesa, right? And if even like we have N8N, so there are some tools that you can start with. Okay, be playing around with. If you can structure your learning and say, within 6 months, I want to know how to use Gemini. Okay, I want to know how to use ChatGPT. I want to know how to use maybe like Coolbot. So there are so many tools out there, but don't rush into learning everything at once. Just go step by step. Okay, just step by step. Especially the generative AI is easier for you to understand. Okay, then before you go into machine learning, because a lot of things, there is always this cloud around the fear of AI, because people will be like, I don't even want to talk about it, because I know that, no, whether you like it or not, like I said, for me, I've been in an environment where I've taught it before. Now I've moved into the machine itself. And sometimes when I see things that, like in my company, we are doing as a researcher in robotics, you see, we are moving, the world is moving at a fast pace. Okay. So don't sit down until the company comes to you and tell you, like Ajua Akosia, like, yeah, I think we don't need you again. Start upscaling. Start upscaling. Just learn some few AI tools that will be useful in your productivity. For me, I say, even when I'm working every day, I am always on Copilot and ChatGPT. Okay, just let it become your friend. Okay, let it become your friend. If it becomes your friend, I think you will never go obsolete. Okay, just be playing around it. Whatever that you are doing, just go and say, all right, so let me ask it and see what option it will give me. And it's, I will not lie to you, like, it can give you like informed calculations, because this is generative AI. So it helps you in their reasoning. So it calculates things faster in milliseconds than like, yeah, like the way, because like, yeah. So I think you just have to embrace it, start learning some of the few tools that I've mentioned, and yeah, and you'll be fine.
My question for you though, would you advise children that are in like primary school or in primary school, middle school, and maybe in high school to really focus or utilize AI in their work? I
Yeah, I think.
and let me give you a reasoning behind my question. So my children, let's say my kids are in first and second grade, right? Let's use them for example. At that age, do you recommend that they start getting detailed in using AI
I think, I'll go back to cognitive reasoning. So, the genesis of, human reasoning. And as a human being, when you look at our genetic composition, we didn't start reasoning today. Okay. Reasoning started long, long, long time ago. Okay. We just keep building upon our experience. So cognitively, as children, exposing children to AI at the early stage will take away their cognitive reasoning. They will take away their emotional intelligence. We need that emotional intelligence. So, what we mostly say that, okay, during their infancy, or when they are growing up to a certain stage, I've even developed a paper on it. When you look at how they interact with their surrounding, how they become creative, okay, it should be away from AI. Because if we embed AI and start exposing them to AI, what is AI at their infancy or early stage, they eliminate that aspect of reasoning. AI should be from someone who have a choice. Okay, I always say that AI should be someone who has a choice. Okay, children don't have choice, because what you expose to them, that is what they will be able to accept.
Going.
So if you give them that exposure, it will take away their experience, it will take away their humanly cognitive building and also creativity aspect of their life.
Right.
So let's wait until they grow up and they have a choice, and they will get to understand the situation and also embrace it if they are okay to embrace it. So
Do that.
we give them that choice to do that.
Yeah, thank you so much for touching on that, because I think as we are sitting here, I was just getting a bit concerned. I'm hoping that someone is not listening and thinking and looking at how impactful or how useful AI can be or is, and might think, oh, well, then maybe I'm a parent and I may not always be in a place where I can help my children with their assignments. So then you leave the kids to use that AI as an option. So that's what I'm asking, just so that we can also be cautious. If you're listening, as much as AI is good, these tools are helpful. You don't want to start your child on that if you have younger
Too
children,
early.
and by making the excuses to say, oh, okay, well, I didn't know AI can do all these things, do your assignments and the whole 9 yards. So don't get stuck on it. And that's why I deliberately threw that question at you, so that we can touch on that. So thank you for clarifying that. If you are just tuning in, this is the chat room, a platform dedicated to resolving daily life issue. I'm here with my co-host Nanaya Sarpong and with the one and only Professor Mr. Jacob joining us tonight from the United Kingdom. It's a pleasure having you here, sir. And to everyone that tune in, if you feel that this session, as always, is being impactful, then we ask that you just click the share button, is right there, and share it with your family, with your friends. You can share it on your wall, on your platform, so that other people can have access to our sessions. If you follow us for a while, you realize that our sessions are nothing but education. It's all educational purposes, pretty interactive and informative. So we want to take a quick second to welcome everyone that is watching. Mama Gladys, you are welcome. Miss Amy, thank you for tuning in. Dr. Vivian, thank you for tuning in. Susan Teely, thank you for tuning in. D. Curtis, you're welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And Ruby, Doug, I hope you're doing fine. Thank you for tuning in. Pastor Frank, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Okay, there's a question on WhatsApp for you. It says that my mom wants me to ask this question. She said that, so for parents who are not educated and do not really know anything about AI, what are their options?
I
That's
think,
dangerous. Let's talk
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I'm glad he's
Let's
here.
talk about that part. I'm glad they asked because
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
the
I
reason why
think,
I say this, hold on. The reason why I say this, and please touch on this as well. In this age of AI, there's so much information, misinformation that people are using people's faces, people's voices, and sending to these older people, right? That cannot distinguish between real and AI generative work, and they are receiving information that they think is true, and
Mhm.
it's not. So while you're touching on that, please touch on
That's
that as well.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a very important question because if you see maybe your mother, your grandmothers who, they kind of like, they are at the latter stage of their life, so they don't really want to like bother themselves with learning AI. But the big question is, right? When you look at the when mobile phone came, okay, it came. People said, "Oh, mobile phone, like if you are picking coil to give you cancer, like it is not good." But now we still see our mothers using the mobile phone. Okay, so now the question is, as the younger ones, let us start taking time to educate our mothers. Okay, so let us start taking time to educate them on, oh, mommy, AI is this, AI is doing this. Okay, help them to also understand that, since they are in the era of AI, okay, let them also leverage, because it will get to a point. Nowadays you even have, Amazon, Siri, you have,
Alexa.
Alexa in the house, where is we call Internet of Things. So this Internet of Things, you just speak, and it picks your voice and just do whatever you should do. So if you leave our mothers that, we don't want them to understand AI, and the day that you are not in the house, and maybe they don't want to stand up to pick the phone, it will be difficult. But if you teach them that, oh, mommy, if you need anything, just say Alexa or just say Siri, she will utilize it and make it useful for her. And nowadays, microwaves, everything, TV, a lot of things are moving towards what generative AI and Internet of Things. So yeah, you just have to, educate them. Okay, educate them. Just take your time, explain it to them, the use of AI and the benefit of AI. And I believe, once they understand it, see, they will just, be able to pick it, because I know mothers adapt easily, because they've been through a lot, from when TV came to mobile phone to internet
Not
to
TV.
now AI. So they've seen all. Okay. So they've seen all. Yeah.
You
Thank
know
you.
what? Let me just say this for a laugh. Lois, the third one, and she asks Alexa to play a song for it's a birthday song by Gracie's Corner or something like that. And Alexa was just, playing different type of songs. And so she said, Alexa, that's not what I said to play. And then Alexa said, okay, I'm sorry. It sounds like you sound frustrated. I'm sorry, I cannot locate the song. Then she goes, Alexa, stop playing with me. You've played this song before. You played it the last time. Go and play Happy Birthday by Gracie's Corner. And interestingly, Alexa started playing and I was like, wait, what? I didn't realize you can actually interact with Alexa.
You can.
I was like, I did not. I mean, I know you can talk to her, but to where she could actually detect that she was
You're
frustrated
frustrated.
because yes. I was like, wait, what? This is what we've
Yeah.
actually gotten to. But I just shared that just to say from what you're saying. Yes, there's so many different ways that we can learn. As just to add to what you were saying, as you mentioned, we don't have to be left behind, and it doesn't mean that you have to get, if you're older and you really cannot just get the hang of it, it doesn't mean that you should get into the detailed ones, but at least just the little ones to get by your dailies here and there. I think that it'll be good for you to know as a mother. But it's 5 p.m. I don't know if Dr. Jacob have anything to say, but thank you so much for joining in, Dr. James. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Doc, we want to take your final words, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Unless you have something else that you want to touch on before final words.
Now, I think, for me, like, I'm just fortunate that, I've been in different environments, so I'm kind of like, I understand different areas, unless it is medicine. I'm not in the medicine area. I'm not a specialist there, but I've seen, like I said, I work with robots. I see how different things move, and I see how, people need to embrace, and I am an advocate for people to move into AI, understand AI, because it will definitely help you. It will help you to upskill. So if you don't understand AI, start, asking questions. Because the first question that was asked, in 1958 was, can machine communicate? Can machine interact? Can machine talk? That was 1958. Okay, today, 2026, now machines are
Machines are talking.
interrupting. So the same way, okay, they are talking now, 10 years to come, okay, when you look at World Economic Forum, okay, so they come out with reports on the trend of jobs. When you look at World Economic Forum, now it is earmarking intelligence, artificial intelligence, cyber security, like data scientists, data algorithm, machine engineering. So all those are now becoming the top. So when you look at the top 5, it's related to AI, it's related to artificial intelligence, machine learning. So you ask yourself, in the next 10 years to come, okay, now this is also helping us to shape our career, prospects. So you don't tell your children, oh, go and do dondology, or go and do this course. If you know that World Economic Forum, okay, are predicting that AI, artificial intelligence, data security, data engineering, all those things will be the leaders in job careers. So that you don't go through university and everything to only come and say, oh, I cannot find work to do. So please, let us embrace AI now. Position yourself strategically in the job market. As a teacher, position yourself to be more productive, so you can spend most of your productive time doing, things that are, will add value to you. So let's embrace AI. And thank you so much for giving me this platform to communicate to your viewers.
You're welcome. Somebody just sent a comment on WhatsApp. It says that your co-host said earlier that there are doctors, or there may be doctors that that may have done all of their assignments via AI, and now they've graduated to become medical doctors.
They are your doctors.
It says that, their comment says that, well, I think we should now start asking our doctors how they ended up getting.
How did you get your degree? Do you owe part of your degree to ChatGPT?
That was funny. Well done. Thank you so much for coming, Anna. We had an amazing time tonight. Please,
thank you for the time. Thank you for the time
on
also.
Next Sunday. We have our sessions every month. Every month we pick a topic and we stay on that topic until, we've done justice to it. Last month we did heart health. It was amazing. This month we are looking at education. So please look out for the flyers on all of our platforms. LadyMary, Boadu, on all social media platforms. We are going to be sharing it. And then if you have our numbers on WhatsApp too, please look out for it and join us in the other conversations. Thank you so much. This is where we end our session tonight. To everyone who tuned in, thank you. Nana, have a good night, Doc. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yo. Now your matter with it talk. Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary, they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter, make we solve them. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you gon' feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yes, we go talk and clear, no delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You, hey, the chat room. Hey, now here we define the way. We the chat room. We go talk and clear, no delay. the chat room.